So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream with live peoples. And I'm going to go through Bennett Klein's Dragons. I bought these as a digital, but for some reason I couldn't open Wild. The Dragon one, no problem, straight onto the laptop, opened it up and played with it in Outrage, no problem. This one I couldn't, so I have to print it out. But I did find some thicker paper, and you can get this in Tesco's. Says she. You can find this in Tesco's or any other supermarket. I found it by accident, and it's 100. It's 100 GM. I think printer paper. I've seen 8. I've got some for 80. I haven't got the 100. I think it's 50 or 60 is ordinary printer paper. This is a bit thicker, so I thought that would be nicer to work on. It seems to be a little bit nicer to work on. So I've printed them out, and then because I can't get this digitally, I'm going to have to then scan it back in and save it as a PDF, because well, I've tried for 3 days, and I used to think I was a bit computer savvy, but I cannot get that to work. So it's obviously a different one. This was from the Facebook site. This is from a different website, and I was a bit thinking about that, but never mind. We've managed to get it to go. So I've printed it out on this 100 GM paper, printer paper, so that I can use my pastels, and then I can set them with a damp brush. So I was going to have a quick flick to see what. Have a bit of a think. Excuse me. Just have a quick slip of coffee. So I thought I would have a little bit of a think about colours, because sometimes you can look at something and see a colour straight away, and sometimes you don't. And it's easier with fantasy things than it is with others. But that reminds me a bit of a lion's tail, lion's mane. So I imagine orangey reds. So I think we could have an orangey red dragon. But use the lion's colour, because they remind me of a lion's feet. But they look like Alfie's feet at the moment. This one I thought we had some nice greys, but not cold greys. I thought we'd do warm greys and kind of warm him up a bit, because he looks a bit of a miserable old sausage. Obviously this has got trees and fawns and browns, so we could have a very, very vivid red and green dragon there. A red dragon in a green tree would look quite good. This is a box of treasure. So we've got the wooden box, or we could do brass. I think it's actually wooden because it's got grain on it. So we've got some woody colours. So again, we could probably have woods and then a red and green dragon, or all green, maybe all bright greens. That dragon, or a purple dragon. Purple and brown's quite nice. Again, this one's a bit more scaly, so probably teals, maybe greens and blues, and have a really unusual dragon. This one's almost fish-like, almost seahorse colour. So again, maybe some browns, fawns. That would look quite nice, I think. And then we've got young lady, she's got denim shorts on, and he's still got feet on, so she could have purple wings. Or maybe we could do purples and pinks, because she could have pink wings, being quite girly, and then he can have purple wings. So he could be a green dragon with pink and green, so that might look quite nice. Again, he's a bit of an old grumps, so I think we could use some warm greys on him. This is almost clown-like. That's almost like a clown face with tentacles, but I think this is metal, so yellow metal. So we could maybe make him a little bit kind of metal with a metal mask on. That'd look quite interesting. There's two, well, that's like a phoenix, so phoenixes are reds and gold, and he could be red and green, so you get some quite nice colours in that one. Again, another grumpy old one. I still think we could maybe use some cooler purples and fawns, but the colder browns, colder purples. This is obviously a blossom of some sort, so we could have a bright red flower and a dull green dragon. That'd look quite nice, I think. Because there's a lot of olive greens. Actually, I think olive greens would look quite nice with an orangey red flower, because we can do individual scales. There's quite a lot of scales on there. It's a lot of detail. It's not just a blend. So each individual one could be olives. That might look quite nice. And in that new set of pencils at the bottom, there's a lot of olive colours. So it's nice sometimes to just have a little flick through. So the bottom layer here, sorry, not bottom, all these olives, there's a lot of olives and fawns, would look really, really nice. It'd look really good in here. I'm not going to do that again. Here we've got another grumpy boy, another old, really old scaly. And again, those olives, but use the browny olives and then the browny greys. So kind of warm him up a bit, but use some warm greys. Warm greys are very, very, very nice. Again, he's strutting like a horse, so you could even do a piebald. You could do a piebald horsey, or a chestnut horse, chestnut coloured horse, but as a dragon with some bright wings, maybe. That might look quite nice. That one looks almost like a butterfly, like a monarch butterfly. So monarch colours, oranges and reds and yellows. Oh, of course, there is a monarch butterfly there, look. Yes, that would be good. So you could have all monarch colours. Now this is like a hummingbird, so I think, although he's sitting like a lion actually, it's like a lion. So I think we'll have a hummingbird with lion colours, and then we could have hummingbird feathers, because these are feathers in his wings. So I think we could match those up. That might look quite good. Oh, we have a bit of a fiery dragon, so he's very thorny with claws. He's very thorny. He's almost like a stag. He's almost like a stag, or a snake colour. He's a bit of a grumpy boy. But sometimes the bright colours are nice against a black background. Oh, and here's Grumpy McGrumpy. I think this is the one I said that I was married to, but he's wonderful. He's my husband. I shouldn't say that. Again, I think maybe cold greys. This might look quite nice with that indigo, dark, cold, bluey greys, very cold, because he does look like a bit of a colder boy. We've got a castle. I think we just have a red and green dragon, a traditional dragon, because he's a traditional dragon shape. with some green purple wings, perhaps purple tints in his wings. Again, little brown hut, and again this is a dove, so we'll maybe have bird-like feathers. That might look quite nice. I showed this one upside down last time, but that's the right way up. I'm not quite sure what he is, but this is almost like brass, so you could make him metallic. He might be good in metallics. Another bit of a grump pants. Again, I quite think he's got like wrinkled pink skin, so we could do him human pink skin with fingernails. Everything's fingernails. That's hard. That would look quite interesting. This one's really cute, and actually I have a picture that was very similar. I have a picture, and it's the first. I couldn't find a dragon colour, and I also didn't have an imagination, and I googled the dragon and it came up. I'm sure it was like that, so let's have a look. It's a bit slow as the internet. Just a bit slow. So we go on images, and I was looking for some dragons. There's the pink dragons, and I couldn't decide what colours. And then I saw this little one, and it's actually a model. It's an ornament. That's the best word. It's an ornament. And I love that colour. So that's the colour I've been doing all the dragons. So if you ever think you can't remember what to do, or you can't think, just Google whatever it is. You see, there's, look, we've got skin. They'll be good colours for that, like flesh coloured, but with, that's showing up very well. But I want to see this little ornament, and it came up almost straight away, and I thought, oh, that's a nice colour. Just see if I can put, it's very slow as my internet. So we've got some dragons, but this particular one was sitting on there, and it was all pinks, and that's why I chose pinks and purples for my dragon. But Murphy's Law says we won't be able to find it. Oh, I was right about the olives, all the olive colours. So this little dragon is actually sitting. He will be here somewhere. It's just a matter of finding him. Oh, I like the dragons for the Christmas baubles. So you can either copy exact colours, or you can make your own up. But I didn't type this in, I just typed in dragons. Because what I want to do is take a photograph of it, and then I've got it. I mean, I did take a photograph of it, but I've taken thousands since, so I probably won't be able to find it. Murphy's Law says, can't find it. Must have dreamt it. No, it's gone. Can't find it. It's not coming up. How annoying. You can always do Pete's Dragon, Walt Disney colours. Can't find this little ornament with a purple and green dragon in it. Oh dear. Just remember not to use the thumb. I can find every colour dragon but the one I want. Oh, good, DRD. There are some good ones, but I'd say if you stuck, I always have a quick flick. But there is a picture, and I'm really cross I can't find it. And he's got the big eyes, that's how I chose those purple colours, because I didn't really know what to do. And all the dragon colours in the drawings I didn't like, so this is actually an ornament, but of course can't find it now. Can find everything but what I want. The only other way to do it is to look at my photographs. So these are kind of these delicate peachy pinks, and then I'm going to do this dragon, the colour of the dragons that I normally do. It's when I did the first dragon, so it should be here. But I have quite a few photographs, shall we say. And so if you find something that you like, take a snapshot of it, take a photograph of it, and then you've got it then. It's not going to appear, so it doesn't matter. We'll find it another day, but that's what I want to do for that one, is to find that particular dragon, that photograph, and then I can use that as a reference, because you get good ideas for shadows then, because you're actually looking at something. So it's a good idea to do that if you can, because you've got a reference. Everything's always easy if you have a reference. That was the dragon dog, but that wasn't the dog. That wasn't the dragon. You could do this in his dragon outfit. Alfie in his dragon outfit. Are we going on a rabbit trail again? I just thought I could find this particular one, but it's not there. No, it's not there, so I won't waste any more time because I'm not going to find it. So what we thought we would do is the pinks and the greens. I think he had a pinky tummy, green, and then purple on top, and then we've got some peach colours on that one. This one again, this is the one that I've done in Art Rage, I think. Oh no, it wasn't. This is the one I've coloured, but it's got crushed somewhere. I've actually done this one in purples and greys. I've attempted this one as well, so we've got a waterfall. They're a little bit scaly, so you could almost make them purple. That's... oh, I don't know what it's done here. It's printed all sorts of things. So that one is Bennett Klein sketchbook. I don't know which one I want to do first, actually. I had so many nice ideas. I think I'd like to do the horsey one first, I think. Oh no, I think I'm going to do the butterfly one. I think I'll do the butterfly one. That was a nice one. I don't think they're in order. I thought they would be in order, but they're not, so we'll find. That's the lion. Actually, I might do the lion one. That would look quite nice. So that's what I intend to do with that one. Put that to one side. And this one is wild. So this one is Wild, Bennett Klein, 25 grayscale sketches. And again, for some reason, I pressed print and nothing's in order, but I don't know what's underneath. So again, I was going to think about colour and things. So they look like hummingbirds and tulips. So you could have red tulips and teals and green and blue birds. And this could be all greens. There's the yellow bumblebees, so you could have a bright yellow flower and yellow bumblebees. This paper is very thick. It's very good, actually. We've got kind of like an octopus. Oh, he's an octopus there, look. So I might actually look up proper colours for that. And some fish. And there's a shell. And then maybe some purple and green backgrounds to make them show up. This is quite interesting. This is a mechanical bug. So again, those greys and those warm greys will be quite interesting to do, all warm greys, and then you could do a brightish background. Of course, the peacocks are going to be peacock colours. So again, I'm going to absolutely love that because we've got that deep, rich, purpley blue. And then we have little yellow, soft yellow primroses. They would look lovely. And we have Mr. Peacock's face there, so again that would be quite nice. Lovely chipmunks, and then the acorns, so you could do those the real colours, and then do this brass or gold. That would look quite nice. Oh, hi BM. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. Just having a bit of a play, going through this Wild, Bennett Klein's Wild, and I had a spot to bother downloading it, so I've printed it out and then I'm going to scan it in. But when I scan it in next week, I will show how I scan in, and then you know if you've got an ordinary thing to scan in, how to scan it in, if your printer will scan. Lots of printers now do all sorts. So again, love the owls, probably barn owl colours with a little brown mouse. That might look quite nice. Black and white panda with a swallowtail, but it's not quite a swallowtail, so the flowers again, quite nice. And the bamboo shoots, bamboo. A ladybird in the middle of a, not geranium, not delphinium, a dahlia, I think. Green ferns. We've got that lovely hooker's green now, so that'll look quite nice on there. We've got mummy bull and baby bull. Sorry, mummy bull, mummy cow and baby cow. Oh, it's a lamb. Sorry, that's not a lamb. Oh, so we've got a cow and a lamb. Not sure what to do with them. Might just do a darker background, or we could give him some colour. Again, the monarch butterflies, oranges and reds, yellows, maybe with blue rose, perhaps. Oh, definitely the tiger, baby cub tigers with the tiger butterfly. That would look quite good. This is an eagle, so we have an eagle with some flowers and a kind of a cacti. It's So these I will be googling the right colours so I can match them up quite nicely. Again, the fox, gorgeous fox colours, and maybe have a teal, green and blue hummingbird with the orangey foxes. The butterfly, monarch colours, browns. That look quite nice with browns and fawns. Fawn colours, browns, those warm greys, they look quite nice, and maybe have a really vivid red flower to go there. Koalas, they're all greys, they're quite nice. I might actually do the colours for that, match the colours up and then put something bright behind. Little hedgehogs, I think probably bright rose, red rose, and then these will be brown and white. That might look quite nice. The tawny owl, I think probably browns again. Again, I've got all those gorgeous olives, browns and fawns in that new set of pencils. Leopard, again leopard colours, and then some vibrant backgrounds. I think this little monkey, there's one with a red face, I think that would look quite nice. There's one with a bright red monkey face and some bright butterflies. They look quite good. Again, the wolves will be the greys, the nice warm greys. And we have some red flower background. Oh, I think this is the first page actually, the little ducklings. So you've got little yellow ducklings and some greens. Again, we've got those gorgeous hookers greens to go with. I don't know what kind of birds they are, but again, this one you could probably make up and then just have fawn coloured birds. And it put them in backwards order for some reason. So that's a rough idea of what I'm going to use, the colours I'm going to use with pastels on this paper, and then blend them, and then I'll probably, if my hands aren't too bad, there's some small spaces though, but I'll try to blend them, and then we'll cover them in water so that we can fix them. So I could do with a couple of rubber bands to keep these in nice condition. So they're my, and of course I've also got my books, all the books. I think there's only there's only darker that I haven't got. So in this one I've just done one, and again I wanted those greys for Big Ben, so that's one of them. I'm pretty sure I've only done one, I think. Again, I need to put my sticky labels in there, if I can find my sticky labels, because I'll know what I'm doing then. So what I do is get my sticky labels out, and I love that zip on that Derwent art bag. It's so easy to use, because some zips are terrible. Oh, I do have one on there, look. It's just got bent down a little bit. There we go. So what I tend to do is I put a sticky up at the top to show me that I'm what I need to finish, and then when it's finished, which this one is, I put the sticky at the side. So that tells me that all these are done and all these are to do. But it's not fixed, so it will run. So I need to put the tracing paper between. So I don't think I've done any more in that one. Oh, look at the pussycat. Wow. But again, I'm not quite sure about water on here, but it should be okay. We can try it. It doesn't matter. It's one-sided. Yeah, I think I might like to do the pussycat. I might do that toffee colours, the toffee cat colours. So welcome to Bunny's Designs. Anybody else popping in? So that one's characters. This one's darker, and I don't think I've done anything in this one. And this is book 2, and I haven't used anything in book 2. Now this paper seems to be a little bit thicker actually. But this is for my pastel pencils. All these books are for my pastel pencils, which is why I bought them. So here we have this particular page. So I need a sticker because it's finished on here. And this one's finished. So need another sticker. And this is the first one that I did, I think that one, the butterfly. So I have these olive colours, but now I have a lot more, so that should be interesting. Oopsie. And none of these have been fixed because I didn't use water. And I love these gorgeous soft pastels, and this is what set me off to get pastels. I really like them. Love these soft pastel colours that you get with pastels. And then what's that last one? And then this isn't finished, this one, so this one's the label at the top because it's not finished. So I've got a lot of work to do with my pastels, even though I can't use any of my others. There's still plenty to do. I said the only one I haven't got is dark, but I think dark is a combination of them all. So there's definitely enough to keep me going with my pastels. So there we go. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 books, so there's definitely enough to keep me going in the summer with my pastels, and I'm going to be sitting in the garden. So thanks for watching. That's my Bennett Klein flick. I've actually got a bit longer. I'm going to flick through them all. I may as well flick through them all and go through them, hadn't I? Have a bit. Some of them I've not looked at, which is really naughty. So this one is where's book 1 first? That's book 3. I think this is the first one. So sorry about that. The first one. Again, I think for here would be feathers and oranges and bright reds and a gold mask. I think that looked quite nice. Again, we've got those peacock colours, so I'd Google peacock on Google, look at images, find out those vibrant blues and all these gorgeous colours that they have. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Button Addict. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. So darker is a reprint of dark with 5 extra images. Right, yeah. I thought I had nearly everything. Again, lion's mane with shiny. You could get some really nice highlights on the golds and brass colours. And then, of course, he's got wings. I really like these colours. Now, I haven't put it over there. She's not fixed. But I did love these again, olives and blue teals, so you can get some quite unusual colours. Again, the dragon. Now I've done this dragon digitally, so I need a little sticky because I started it and not finished it. Again, tawny owls, and maybe she could have some quite bright colours. I was thinking of William Morris. His colours will look quite dark, quite nice. That's obviously got to be hippie flower power, so we've got some greys, and then we've got the very vibrant oranges and yellows and reds of the 60s hippies. Again, I'd stick to wolf colours and greens. I wanted to have a go at a blonde, so that's what I used that one for. Again, I love these subtle teals. You see the colours and the pale peach colours, really pretty. And again, I've got a bit more scope now because I've got all the pastel colours in that original Derwent set. So all these are going to be done with the pastels. What I'm just going to do is put those to one side. And move them out of the way. And then I've got a nice flat surface to show. I fix them with a damp brush. That's how I fix them. So whether I blend them and then I fix them with a damp brush, or I can put the colour on and just manoeuvre it, and so it becomes a blank. I think the one I did earlier, the one of Charlie, I've just been not blending. I've just been putting the put the pastel on and then use this. Sorry, I've just used my thumb. Put the colour on and then just rub gently with a just barely damp brush, and it turns the pastel into a potential watercolour. So it's not a watercolour, but it reacts like a watercolour, and then it just dries, and once it's dry, it's set. So I started this morning. Sorry, I was doing Charlie this morning, so all that's set. So I was taking a bit of pastel colour, scribbling it in, and then manipulating it with a damp brush, and it's fixed. The parrot, there is actually 2 videos, I think. I blended the colours in first, and then I took a damp brush over the top. Very, very, very damp, just barely damp. And then it stops all those nasty fixatives. And then I started this is the one I started this morning. And again, I've got all my stickies at the top. These are all ones that I've started, and these are finished. And as you see, there are a lot more at the top than there are at the bottom. So this is the one we started this morning. So that video will be released later today. And that's Tutankhamun. And that's with my new pastels that I got over the weekend. And again, I put pastel onto there and then blended it, and then that set it. As soon as it's dried, it's set, and your pages are flat. Oh, thank you. I don't think the Harry Potter one. I started this one, I've forgotten as well. That's another one that I started. And again, I love these pastel colours in these pastel pencils. And yet the other one was I've done these 2 with a mixture. Again, these are the Derwent pencils. The pastel pencils you buy now, they're all quite vibrant. And this is what I miss, my Inktense. And these are Derwent watercolours, these are Derwent Inktense, and there's very little difference. you can get some gorgeous vibrant colours with the Derwent pencils. And all I did was scratch a bit of colour on, and I blended it on the page. And then when it was set, because I can't scratch with the pencils. And this was a professional watercolours. I've only got 6 colours, but again, can't really use those at the moment. This is Dr. Martin's PH, but I'm hoping to get some vivid colours from these pastels, and they're watercolours. And this was my first with just 3 colours, so you don't need to buy hundreds of colours. This is a Cotman tube of Elysian Crimson, Lemon Yellow and Cerulean Blue, just 3 primary colours, and I got all those gorgeous colours from there. And I didn't use very much because I'm a tight Yorkshire lass, and I just can't put my hand on the, had it yesterday? I had it the other day. There is a little, I don't know what I've done with it. There's a little palette full of colours. So I thought I'd better do a bit more, and especially when I've looked in here and got all these Bennett Kleins and not really used them. That one's finished, so we'll go through here. So again, I think water lily colours, and this Phoenix, which is red, so we've got reds and we've got water lilies. Swan Lake, so we've got swan colours. Wildcat colours there. I think I googled wildcat colours. I think that might be quite interesting. Beautiful blues and teals for dragonflies, and then maybe a red and green dragon. Or probably blue and green, and then we've got turquoise and green. Again, 70s flower power, I think. Again, some really nice vibrant colours and butterfly colours, so I'll match the wings up. This is the first page I did with the pastels, and this is not set, so it'll rub off. But I could set this, so I'll show you how to set it, and we'll see what happens with the Bennett Klein page. I'll just put that between there. So I have a baby wipe, and mine's actually quite damp now, just barely damp. So you dunk the brush, twist it to a point, and we'll start over there and just stroke over the top. And remember, you're not blending now, it's already been blended, you just want to stroke it once. If you do any more rubbing, you will lose what you've got, because it will turn it into a watercolour and it will move. You're just really stroking over the top. And you want to do pale first. And the least amount of water, your brush is just damp. Because the least amount of water you have, the better your page is for not crinkling. And that's all there is to it. But remember, wherever you go with this paintbrush now, you've got colour on it, because you've technically made this pastel into a watercolour. It's not a true watercolour, but it reacts in a watercolour way. And all you're doing now, because you've done all the blending, you've got all the colour where you want, this is what you do at the end. You just stroke over every inch. And that's how you set it, without fixatives and without anything nasty. That's what you do. Oh, thank you, Button Addict. Thank you, Caroline, sorry. you just want to stroke the colour. And I'll just go right to the top of this, otherwise you forget where you're going. If you've already put the water over it and you go over it again, it doesn't matter as long as it's dried. You don't want to wet it twice when it's damp because it'll wreck the page. But basically you're just stroking very carefully. Now riggers work for longer, but you can do this with an ordinary little tiny brush. You just have to do it for a lot longer. You just have to keep dunking and drying. But the riggers stay at a constant dampness for longer, is probably the best way I can explain it. So and then if I touch this one, it's set. I wouldn't do it up there because it's wet, so all that's now set. So you can keep your tracing paper for another day. This looks almost like a bumblebee or a wasp. So sometimes wasps are bright colours. Again, she's got to have jet black hair but with a big shine on it, and the red and gold and yellow for the for that. And when I say gold and red, I mean the pastels. I think I still love these pastel shades. Do like those. I love the pastel shades. I've got lots of other colour books to do bright colours in, but these Bennett Kleins I absolutely adore, and when I'm digitally doing them I use bright colours. But I think all these are going to be all beautiful, soft, pale pastel colours. Using pastel colours, pastel pencils, sorry. Again, we've got the elephant, so it's going to have a warm grey elephant, but then we've got all the reds and golds traditional with the Chinese colours for wealth. So that one's the next one. I don't think I've done anything in this one at all, which I say I'm a bit disgraceful. On this Bennett Klein Sketchbook 2, you have colour palette ideas. So this is one of those ducks that has bright orange, I think, on it. So again, that would be nice. And then her feathers could be bright orange and bright browns, really red russet browns. And then again, she can have the red russet round here with the flowers. And there's a tiara, so that's going to be kind of gold greys. And then she could have, I think probably pinks and purples look, because pinks and purples and then cold greys would look quite nice. Again, I think the traditional green and blue for like William Morris's furniture, I think that's quite good. That's another octopus colours. Now I love the other octopus colours, those teals and greens. Oh, I know what we're going to do with him, because I found a picture of a photograph, and I screenshotted it, and I thought, I wonder if that would come in handy, and I can't find it. Typical. Again, I do take lots of photographs, but I've seen a photograph of a black and white horse with a tail, so that looked quite good. Again, this has got some cats, greens and reds and golds, I think look quite good. She's a little bit flower power, the 70s, and then there's a Bambi, so we've got fawns and reds, warm reds. Some gorgeous big feathers, and these look like monarch butterflies, so again the red orange would be the red orange, So all reds and oranges and yellows there. We have the warm greys of the elephant and fawns. Again, we've got hummingbirds, we've got a deer, and red roses. That looks like a scarlet macaw. It could either be scarlet, a purple one, or it could be blue and yellow. Some little green lovebirds, little finches. Again, Mr. Fox, so we've got bright green eyes and fox colours. And then the russets of the chickens. These have got big red feathers and red breasts. They're quite, are they Rhodesian red chickens? They're very, very, very vibrant. Again, gorillas with some nice feathers. And again, I think this it looks like a secretary. They've got some vivid blues swizzled in there somewhere. I did this one on Art Rage and I loved it. Let's see if I can find it. But I would do traditional straw colour. I think I would do traditional colours. Just a second, it's somewhere not too far away. Sorry, the phone's going, but never mind. Don't know where she is. She can't be far away. So I always Google. There we go. She is there, look. It'll focus in a second. So I did some orange butterflies, pea greens, purples, oranges, and a bright red hat. And then I made a gold with some highlights. So this one will be paler colours, I think. Again, Google's birds, pipe, and an evening smoking jacket. Smoking jackets used to be greens or purples. The smoking jackets. Again, the dragons and the masks and the snakes. I Google the snake and decide if will it go with the other colours at the time, but I do like to match colours up if it's a reality, if it's a real bird. So again, we've got that looks like a kestrel or a hawk. And then we have masks and pearls, and that looks like velvet, so we can have some nice rich deep colours. Obviously teals and greens and turquoises, and then some goldfish. That might look quite nice. Again, nice mottled greens and blues. Then we can have those beautiful blue smoke grey blue dogs, and maybe a very girly pink dress. Again, match the hawks up with the colour, and then you can, well, they're obviously fox colours, so they're going to be kind of the whatever bird of prey they are. It'll be the fox red, I think. I think they'll be the fox reds. I like the monarch butterflies, so I'll do a traditional brownie fawn seahorse, and then morph it into bright reds and yellows for the monarch butterflies, and then a very bright coral. Oh, hi Dazzle D, welcome to Bunny's Designs. I'm having a flick through my Bennett Kleins to have a bit of an idea of what I'm going to do, because I've got all the books and I haven't done a lot of working them. And I've got some new pencil pastels from Derwent, which are 20 odd years old, so I've got a set of 90, so I'm really going to go to town with these colours. So we've got, I think this is the bald eagle, so again you've got that white head and then those really, really strong colours. Again, the redness and the red of the tiger, and the green tree, that hooker's green tree we've got got that colour, so that's that one. So I'm just having rough ideas of colours I might use. So this one is Colour My Sketchbook Grayscale number 3. And again, I don't have any stickers, so I've been naughty and not touched it. So this is what I want to kind of get going with, because if you look on the first one, I have stickers at the top for ones that are ready and stickers at the side for ones I've done. And when I'm working with pastels on this page, they only take a couple of hours, so it's very fast. So I quite like that because it's quite fast work, whereas some other ones are taking me 6, 7, 8 hours. So again, this one has got leopards, and then we've got a face, an Indian feather colours. Now that looks like a peacock, so we've got peacock feathers from a phoenix. So probably green dragon to red phoenix colours, green dragon to purple. That looks like just an ordinary blackbird, but I think we'd probably change the colour. And she could have some nice flowers and monarch butterfly wings. So probably a brown like a sparrow, but a nice brown colour bird. Octopus teals, and with a yellow brass clock. That might look quite nice. Again, there's a lovely red dress in Victorian, so these would be googling the Victorian colours. Then we've got the giraffe yellows, and she's obviously going to be a blonde because she's got giraffe yellow, and she'll have yellow flowers and mainly oranges probably, and maybe a bright yellow dress. There's a dress at Tissot's in its yellow with white frills. Again, tiger colours. We've got tiger colours, rich greens, quite vibrant greens there, and of course green eyes. And then Mr. Fox with his bright greens and his little bumblebee on his nose. Purple and green dragon, and then her dress would probably go to pinks to purples to match the wings. The little red snakes, there's some very tiny little red snakes, are quite pretty, so we could have red and then make all this like metal, but just have the snakes that are alive. This is kind of octopus colours or greys. Maybe they could be warm greys. Then we have the ruffles for the necks, and then some vibrant not carnations, I forgot what those are now, with roses. Obviously reds and oranges for the fox. The green frog, and I did purple and teal for her there, so I will do this one differently. So this one, try to do different colours. So if I've done those bright colours there, I wouldn't do them. Oh, this is the dragon that I did with pastels. So that's the dragon, one of the dragons. I quite like the colours, but sometimes it's nice to do completely different colours. And I'm just looking for my green girl. Yeah, I haven't got my green girl. Just bear with me. I do take thousands and thousands of photographs. I'm a bit of a lunatic. So here we have our very bright green, oopsie, frog, lizard, and then she's got teally coloured dress. So that would be quite nice to do a different colour. Again, owl colours with white claws. You could do purples and pinks because it's not real, so I could go to town. Again, I did the mouse. I tend to do wings, I have this thing about wings being purples and greens. I don't know why. That's the red fox that I did. It's a very vivid red fox and green eyes. That was the other one that I did. These, I don't know what that was called. With the fangs, and somewhere should be a young lady with some purple and teal wings. And I've obviously got this obsession with purple and teal wings. And a mouse with purpley eyes. So I quite like that one as well. And what was, oops. The octopus I did slightly different digitally. This is the digit one, so this is all blues and purples, so that's a different colour to the one that I use, pastels. And again, that's why I love it, because you can use completely different colours than you would normally. So that's the pastel one, and that's the digital one. And so you can work completely different. One's done in pastels, and the other one's done in on digital. It's done on markers. So I think that's all of those. The mouse took me about 3 hours, I think. I did every hair, because I don't think there is a video on that, actually. I'm pretty sure there isn't. The mouse took a long time because I took the fur. What I do is I work on a 1% brush, and then I recolour everything. So his tail, I changed the colour of it, so the highlight was on top, and then I put the highlight on the feet as well, because they weren't on there. So every stroke is actually a blendable pen. And the same with his ears. And it looks quite good, actually. Just things. Ow. This is how I work on Art Rage. There's the little tool section there. There's your screen, and then your colours are there. And you can see what's happening. So you've got an overall picture, because I blow that right up. I blow it like that, so you can't see the whole picture. So I'll be doing some Art Rage in a minute. When I finish this, I'm going to do an Art Rage. I'm going to go into my what am I looking at the moment? It's a second. This is the only reason I know what I'm doing is if I look here. Oh, I'm doing Tutankhamun. And I'm also doing a watercolour. I've scanned in Imagimorphia the elephant, and I've just done his tusks. I've actually finished the elephant bit of him. I finished the elephant bit, and that's what I'm doing on Art Rage. And you can get some gorgeous highlights. So this is all Art Rage. And again, I think there's 3 videos on here. It takes about 8 hours. They're not quick. It's not a cheat. Everybody says, "Oh, it's cheating." No, it isn't. Not if you do it. If you do it like and I'm using blendable markers, which I love, but I can't use them because I can't get the tops off. But it's wonderful that I can just stroke this pen across when I'm working, and I can come up with thousands of colours without just tapping different colours. So it's so much easier if you've got pulley hands. But we'll go through that on the next video, because I'm working, as I say, on the Tutankhamun one. But I am waiting for a delivery from Amazon. So again, I think that would be mousy colours. I think that would be quite nice mousy. Obviously the penguins are black and white, and she's going to have white wings. Some nice flowers, again, like the bird colours. Reds and greens, and then you could make a red and green mask. Again, Google pinstripes, and then Google the hats and colour them in. I think that looked quite good. And then we've got a baby eagle, a baby owl there. We've got greens, so those hookers greens. We've got mountainside with the mountain goats. I think there's a kind of mountain goatee. So I try to Google things as they look in real life. Because I like then, but then it lends itself to other colours. So that's what I sometimes do. So that's number 3. We've got 2 more to go, and then we're going to do some digital art. So we'll do characters. So characters, I haven't done anything in. And apologies I don't call them what they're called. I've done her on Art Rage, and she took me, I think there's 6 videos, so 5 or 6 hours. But that's a very good video because it shows you exactly how I started with her. And she is down here because she's a first when I first started doing digital art. My husband bought me it for Christmas, so I haven't been doing it long, but what I wanted to show was how it can be done when you're not, how you can learn. Does that make sense? So here I've just got this bit done, and I took all the fur, and where it was black I put purple, a deep dark purple, and then I morphed it into a blonde. I made her a blonde, and then I made this metallic, so all the little studs are metallic. And there she is doing the blue jeans. So all the leather all works 6 or 7 times, from darks to lights, lights to darks, highlights, shadows. I work in exactly the same way as you would with oils, probably. That's the best way to describe it. I think, yeah, that's not finished, that one. So that's how it works, and it looks like that when I was working on it. So again, I quite like the idea of, I've got the colours, my colour wheel. So I've tapped the colours that I've used, so I know that all that brown's up there somewhere, and then we've got the little tools there, and that little thing here allows you to move things sideways, so you get that nice angle on your hand. So I really like Art Rage for colouring in. It's lovely, and as I say, the Bennett Klein was £6 to download. Not the dragons, the other one. What's the other one? No, sorry, dragons. So again, the greys and bluey grains for the not schnauzer. I nearly said his name then. Probably a bright colour there. Lots of nice shiny metals and yellows. Google it so you can get the highlights in the right place. Again, Google the colours. Get the nice colours. This is going to be quite fun. Again, metal, and I think that's an otter. It's an otter, I think. Little pink pig, a dachshund. So obviously he's going to be all chocolatey brown colours. A lamb and an owl. A pink flamingo, that should be quite fun, and then you could have the ducks, so that would be fun. Giraffe colours. I don't know if it's a beaver. Is that a little beaver? I've just started this one on Art Rage as well, and I really like this one. But this is why I want to do it in front of the television and not be worried about moving the wires about too much, and that's what's happening at the moment. So that's what it looks like at the moment. There's half a finger done, the highlight, and then I've just started the wings. Oh, hi Fancy Lime, welcome to Bunny's Designs. Anybody else that's popping in? Oh, hi Terry. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. I'm just going through the Bennett Klein sketchbooks. I've got one more to do, and then I'm going to do some digital art. Again, ginger tom or a tabby cat colours, the dragons in the background. Lima colours, and then blonde curls. This is another one that's done, but it's not set. Sloth. A bright green parrot we could have there. Charlie. Punk Charlie. We'll colour him. And it's not a fox, it's a thingy, and I can't think what it is. But we'll do his colours. And there's a little otter, Princess Otter. And again, I think this will be lovely to do the colours of my cat. So she's like a tabby, but she's a dark chocolatey tabby with the big green eyes. And then we have a chipmunk. Green frog on a bright red toadstool. That should look good, with some cherries. That might look quite good. Again, traditional colours. Google what they are. And then last but not least, this is Colour My Sketchbook Darker. So these have all got black backgrounds. So these will be pale yellows, I think, and olive greens. Bright yellow bugs. Bright red and green dragons. Excuse me. Orange and red tigers. The monarch butterfly colours, oranges, reds, yellows. That could be quite nice as like a bronze shine. Practice doing shines and highlights. Reds and greens. Again, Google the Chinese houses, temples, and the red and green dragons. That's obviously a red heart with a green frog. I think I'd do these browns and olives and greys. Could do browns again. I quite like brown colours. Now this is the one that I've done here in unusual colours. I don't know what possessed me, but I did them in these colours, so hopefully they'll be alright. So what I'm going to try and do is scan things in when I buy it from the colour books and then put them in order, because that means that when I'm really ill I can colour on my UG tablet, and then when I'm okay I can colour in the book. So they're the colours, and there was kind of some greeny blues, bright oranges, and again that hooker's green, but this is all done digitally. This is on a digital colour and I love it. Love it. And of course great big pink lips. So I really enjoyed doing that one. So I haven't got a clue what I would do. Probably something completely different. Oh, thank you, Caroline. Again, greys with the skull, but I've got some warm greys. Again here I've got that warm grey, and the smoke, I've got a smoky colour, and I've also got that indigo, that dark blue indigo colour. That might look quite nice. But monkeys are kind of brown as well, so try and get realistic. Obviously some fishy colours there. If it's nothing I can recognise, although that does look a bit octopusy looking, then I'll make up some very bright vivid colours. We've got a bunny there, and they do have a bit of a shade behind actually, so you can kind of use that. These are more fantasy colours, so you could do any colour you feel like it. Again, octopus colours and grayscale, and then maybe the bright dress. Again, lots of metal colours, sometimes reds, sundial colours, I like the metal to look probably goldy, although they look like metal, but then they're like horns, so there's lots of eyes to do. Scottish tartan, and she could have yellow stripy socks. There's 3 different things to Google to get the colours, and then we've got the shiny metals, so we've got those lovely greys and browns and olive colours. Not quite sure what that one is, but again, if it's a 2 fantasy, you can use whatever colours you want. These are always vivid bright reds and greens, the jesters and the jokers. So we've got darker characters, grayscale 3, Colour My Sketchbook, grayscale 2, and we've got wild and dragons. So I think I've got enough to keep going. And I said to my husband yesterday as he passed the shops, oh, I didn't stop to look at any more colour books. And I just got a look. I just got a look to say, really? But he didn't say anything. So again, most of these will be done in pastels in the books in reality, and they will be done they'll all be scanned in and done. These 2 I've bought already scanned in, but that one I'm going to have to scan in again because I cannot pull it out as a wild. It will not have it. And I love Outrage, but I'm also going to be looking at some other digital software as well, so that you can have a bit of a look which is easiest, which you may want to go and do something else with it. But for colouring, Outrage is very, very easy to use, and if you're not kind of want to be an artist as drawing and other things, then you want a very simple thing. You may just want to colour only, and so you want the best software for colouring in, and I absolutely love it, I really do. But I don't colour in like anybody else. Again, it's like pastel pencils, you're not supposed to use pastel pencils. But the pastels will be used for here. And talking of the babies, this is why I went yesterday. So I've acquired the full set, and I can't see my screen now, so apologies. The full set of pastels. Now I've been using them, so some are the wrong way around, so I know what I've been using. So this is the full set of vintage pastel pencils. My babies, that I will be using, if my hands are okay, for the Bennett Klein Colour books. So thank you for watching.